Hey guys, I'm back again with another envelope video for Miss Becky B in Arkansas because she's so sweet and she is always commenting on my videos and she always sends me blessings, keeps me in her prayers, and I need her to know I care about her. She's in my prayers too. She asked to see some envelopes. She doesn't have all these fancy things that a lot of people have, and that's perfectly okay. You can still create beautiful things and not have all these fancy things. So I did an envelope video for her to show her how to make the mini slimline envelopes like these that fit the mini slimline perfectly. Now I thought, you know what? Let's do an envelope for a regular card too. So this is just a recent card that I made recently. I'm going to show you how to do that. So this one, here is my template. I have found that 9.5 by 8.5 works best for me. So I'm going to show you this to you, Becky, and I'm sure somebody else will benefit from this too when you're stuck and you don't have an envelope and you really need one. So the measurements are 9.5 by 8.5. I'm using 90-pound cardstock. You can use designer paper, you can use whatever you want, but that is the size of the paper. And the scores that you'll do, you'll first score at 9.5. I'm going to go through it with you. On the 9.5 side, you score at 2 1/4. And 6 3/4. Then you rotate it like this. You know, I guess I got my arrow wrong, but anyway, you rotate it to the left, and then you score at 1.5 and 7.5, and then you cut. I'll show you. So here we go. So this on the 9.5 side, let's make sure. I got a template, and I definitely recommend that you make a template like this so you can follow it. I have a template for my mini slimline envelope template. And this is for the standard A2. I'm going to write that on here. There we go. Doesn't take long. There we go. Now I have a template. So now I'm going to follow the template and we'll do it together. So on the 9.5 side, step number 1 was 2 1/4. So I'm going to make sure I'm nice and tight here. 2 1/4 on my scoreboard. Then step number 2 was 6 3/4. And then it said to rotate it. So now rotate it 180 degrees to the left. And then the next one says it is 1.5. And then 7.5. There we go. Now this side up here is going to be the top. These are all top folding envelopes. I prefer them. I think they're great. There's all kinds of different ways to make envelopes. This is the easiest template to follow in my opinion. It's super easy and it gives a different feel to it. When you get a card in a coin type of envelope, I don't know, it adds to the handmadeness of it, in my opinion. I like it. All right, so now we're going to do some cutting. So I'm going to show you. This time I'm going to cut it straight on the top where this is the top part that folds over like this. Because some people really like that rounded corner. So you're going to cut these corners off. I'm going to cut it straight as possible. And I'm still going to angle this side. You just cut off the corners. But the angle in is critical to get it to fold together nicely. But this first one I'm going to keep nice and straight so I can round my corners. I will still have to angle it, but at least the corner will be rounded up, you know, before I cut the angle. So there we go. Now I'll round it because now it's straight enough to round. There we go. But angling it, and I'll show you what I mean by angling it. We'll leave it now so you can see what it looks like both ways. Okay, so now I got to cut these guys down here. We're definitely going to angle these. Just works better. When you're folding it together, angle it in on both sides. Angle here. and angle here. Slight angle. It's very, very subtle. So the pieces that you cut out, hopefully you can still see the score marks. When you cut it out, you can still see it's like literally just a tiny, tiny bit, right? Little itty bitty bit. I don't know if you can see it on the video. It's hard to see score lines. But, okay. So there we have it. So now I'm going to flip it over and bend in everything. It's only 90-pound paper, so burnishing it with my fingers is perfectly fine. But if you want to use a bone folder, knock yourself out. So this one comes together like that. This goes there, and then this comes down. So this works well where you don't have to angle it so much, but it's still like a little chunky to me. I like to angle it, but do you, however you want to do it. I do like to angle it just a tiny, tiny bit. Just a little itty bitty bit. I just think it looks better. Okay. Now it comes down, it comes in like that. I don't know, it's a personal thing. And then all you have to do, I recommend using double-sided, really strong double-sided score tape or red tape if you have it. If you don't have it, it's perfectly okay. Glue will work. Glue works fine, especially this one is my glue of choice, my favorite. So I know that that score tape can get a little pricey. I got a really good deal on it one time and I bulked up and I got a whole bunch of it. I'm going to glue just the tip of this one too. But use what you got, but make sure it's going to be strong enough to hold up in the mail. You can let it be a little bit loose so that you can make room for any embellishments that you might want to put on your card. So it's got a little give to it. Hopefully you can see that. Nothing wrong with that, or you can lay it flat. And then a little bit of glue down here. It's going to get manhandled in the mail, so make sure you get enough glue on there to where it's going to hold on to your goodies inside. I'm running out of this glue. Put my needle in there. That's the only reason why this lasts so long is because I religiously do that. There we go. And fold that sucker up. Looks like a professional envelope, right? Because this is how they do it. This is how they make them. So yeah, top folding, top opening, and it goes right in there just like that. Ta-da! So make your own envelopes. I think it makes a handmade card even better with the top opening. That is my opinion. Are there other ways to do it? Absolutely. On YouTube, tons of videos on how to make envelopes that are the traditional, you know, folding over envelopes. And I know you know the ones I'm talking about. You can watch those videos and make them that way if you want. But if you want these templates, you can absolutely use them. So I will leave this here so you can pause it if you want, so you can make your own template. This is for standard A2. Moment of silence. And then this is for the mini slimline that I did earlier in an earlier video. I hope you can see my writing. That's 1.5, 4 3/4. Then you spin it, 1 1/4, 7 3/8. That is the mini slimline. And you start with a 7x8 sheet of paper. Then, again, I'll show you again. For a standard A2 card, 9.5 by 8. First score on the 9.5 side, 2 1/4. Then 6 3/4. Spin that sucker. 1.5 score, 7.5 score. And then I guess I should mark these. Hold on. Where's my pencil? Here we go. These ones you cut. With the angle. Just a slight angle. And I'll show you, like, so I was cutting these first time I started making them and I kept angling it wrong. I was like, why are you doing this? And then this comes in here like that. Like that. So yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I hope this helps you build your own template, make your own envelopes. And there you go. Becky B from Arkansas. Thank you so much for always thinking of me, always putting notes on my videos. I appreciate you. Always look forward to it. I read it every time. And I just wanted to say thank you and give you something special for you. All right. Have a good night. I'll have more to come.